Twisted sister, she'll make you miss her. You didn't pick her, she's a trick. Twisted sister, she'll make you miss her. You didn't pick her, she's a trick. Trick, trick, trick. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Side Spot. I'm your host, as always, Sabir Alim. Welcome. What drives your behaviors? What makes you tick? Is it the what or the why? We're going to talk more about that today. She's your ride or die night. She's turning head. She makes you all in bed and all across. She's just breaking hearts in the darkest hour. She will call the phone. She knows she's got the power and she doesn't care who's at home. Twisted sister, she'll make you miss her. You didn't pick her. She's a trick. Twisted sister, she'll make you miss her. You didn't pick her. She's a trick. Trick. A fancy car, it's got all the blame. Where's the finest clothes? All you think is king. The lady's something so sad. All the paper chasers willing to sprint to bed. He'll make it rain, something he can't afford. He goes home broke, they leave him with no board. He turns the key, love has come and gone. A mystery, treated her like a pawn. Twisted sister, she'll make you miss her. You didn't pick her, she's a trick. Twisted sister, she'll make you miss her. You didn't pick her, she's a trick. Trick. song you're listening to in the background, Trick, from my album, You Want to Be Me. Numbers and letters, You Want to Be Me. That's album number 3. Yeah. She's ready home. It's breaking heart. At 1 a.m. she's at the club. And the lurking stars. She's showing up. Pride is on. Whoever without will be with the dawn. You're almost there. Just one more drink. She passes by and gives you that sexy leg. Close time. Now she's in your face. It's right time. You're at your face. With your sister. She'll make you miss her. You didn't pick her. She's a trick. Twisted sister. She'll make you miss her. You didn't pick her. She's a trick. Woo! Trick. All his dough. He felt the sexy way. Now he's a sneaky link. His men called her neighbors. Now he's on free. His phone's on vibrate. This text and call. His woman won't answer. His mouth on pause. He thought he had him here. Good morning, Shay B. Never saw her disappear. With the sister. She'll make you miss her. You didn't pick her. She's a trick. Twisted sister. She'll make you miss her. You didn't pick her. She's a trick. Trick. Hey, listen, if you have never heard my music before, please do yourself a favor. Go to your favorite music streaming platform and enter Sabir Aleem. February 4th, I released my fifth album. If your whole twist is to find something that's out of the box, old school, that was one that you just got finished listening to. I do all my beats. I write all my songs. I'm a newbie to the music industry. Started back in 2021, but always as an artist, I'm a newbie. But I've always been involved in some capacity with artists because I am an artist, right? You see my artwork in the back. You see the tumblers and things. Go to aleemforyou.net. You'll be able to see some of my artwork. One of our shirts here. Yeah. So I've always been involved, public relations, promotions, stage lighting, some engineering experience. So I've been involved. And I just, hey, felt like it was time. It was time. So go check out my music. 5 albums, I think about 13 singles, maybe a little more. I don't know. I just write and get it out. That's what I do. I sit down, do the beat. Sometimes I have beats already done, but that's my twist, man. That's what I enjoy doing, and that's what I'm going to keep on doing until my time comes and I can do it no more. But, yeah, if you've never been to any of my podcasts, they call them podcasts now. I don't know. It's a damn show, right? It's a matter of, me coming on here, letting you know what I know. And for 30 plus years now, I have been a clinician, serious and persistent mental illness, behavior shaping tools is, for me, is cognitive behavioral treatment, no psychotherapy, know those things, like the back of my hand. 30 years, always saturating myself with information. So when I do these shows, I'm not just some dude that's coming on with a bright idea. I'm just not some dude that came on here and said, like, this is what, no, I've been doing this show since 2007, right? Started a nonprofit, Daddies Right Here Incorporated, nonprofit family services organization that seeks to decrease father absenteeism, right? Primarily in corrections. Last 5 years of my career, because I retired in 2024, was in Florida, in your Region 4 prisons, inside the prisons, done community corrections. So, I do these shows in an effort to bring to people's awareness what's keeping them from having a better relationship, first and foremost, with themselves. Because you can't have a relationship with anything or anyone until you have a relationship with yourself. You can go find God in so many different facets of your life. But if you haven't found self, you don't know why you need to go there. Right? Because there's a surrendering process. BTS, what's happening? There's a surrender that you have to encounter in life in order to realize that there's a power greater than you that makes possible what once seemed impossible. Right? You have to realize your true power as the creation, as the created. Right? So there's a whole lot of learning that has to go on, but you have to move past this superficial stuff that we have been inflicted with in the society we live in. Right? So we were supposed to be doing a follow-up today on another list that we had brought into the show, but like I said, I like to do shows that things rest on my spirit. So I'm like not always the follow up. Some things, you just have to get out there that are out there, that are really important. Things change every day, man, in this world. And every day you go through an array of feelings. Well, we all do. We all go through an array of feelings about what's happening in this world today. But you always have to remember, no matter what happens in this world today, you have to keep living. Lolita, 69, what's going on? You have to look at the reality, no matter what happens in life. No matter what. Life goes on. People die. Death is life. You can't separate the two. You can't keep people around forever. You can't. Not in the physical sense. And that's where we're stuck so often. We're stuck in the physical sense of living, when we have to see the spiritual aspects of life itself, because that's the part you're responsible for. You're not responsible for the things going on outside of you, the things you have no control over. And that's where most of our energy seems to get spent. You watch TV, you watch the news, and you see something on the news. It's heartbreaking. It's mind-blowing, mind-boggling what these folks do to human beings. But they've convinced us that it only happens to this group. It doesn't happen to that group, but it does happen to this group. No, we're all in the same damn petri dish. And we need to accept that. We're all in the same petri dish, right? Plain and simple. It's always a test. It's always a test. But you still have to keep living. And you have to keep living within the spirit of self, because the rest of the stuff out here is part of our demise. Part of our demise. Everything that we consume, everything that we absorb within the depths of our souls, what goes into your mind, what goes into your mouth, your eyes, your ears, your nose, everything that goes into you, that comes inside of you, man, affects you in some capacity. But once you settle your spirit, your mind becomes a little more at ease because you start accepting some things. You stop pointing fingers and blaming and realize that at this point, you have full control over how you feel. You walking around with your face all twisted up, all angry, all poop face, because you don't like this and you don't like that. It's not meant for you to like. It's meant for you to live and to learn how to live through it. But if you don't understand the core of self, it's not going to make a difference. If you still think somebody else is going to come along and change your life, that's not you. If you think the return of the Messiah is going to change your condition, and that's what you're waiting for, you've already lost. You've already lost. It's your duty to prepare yourself for this life. You can't sit back and say it's mommy's fault, it's daddy's fault, it's whoever the caretaker was fault. It's at some point in time, you have to realize I must take responsibility for myself. What they gave me, they gave me. But the focus is on what they didn't give you. Right? See, that's the self-centeredness of the child. That's the part you have to shake off. My mother owes me nothing. My father owes me nothing. They gave me what they could give me. I had to learn to be grateful for the fact that I had two parents. I had to be grateful for a lot of things. Gratitude is key to most of this. Remember, somebody didn't wake up this morning. Some of you are looking at $1,400, $1,500 phones. I don't pay more than $200 for a damn phone. Never will I pay more than $200 for a damn phone. Man, listen, I want to give me a beeper back. Give me a $59 fold-up phone and a beeper. For real. You don't realize how much stress that phone is actually bringing into your life. Because when you got that phone, you reached out to all these people reached out to you. Now you have that daily stress of them contacting you when shit go left in their lives. They're calling you. Everybody want to call you. Right? I don't need that in my life. I don't want that in my life. When you're younger, that's cool. You kind of get a feel for things. Right? But once you get labeled by everybody and people peg you and they pigeonhole you, right? You're good to go. Right? And you don't realize until later on that all these people around you are not around you because they love you like that. For real. Right? There's some commonality. And eventually the commonality should change if you're growing up, if you're maturing. You understand? So there aren't a whole lot of people walking around looking to make themselves better today than they were yesterday. It's not a whole lot of that, man. It's just not. If you find that, value it. Value that relationship. Value it. If you got somebody who's holding you accountable for your stuff, value it. They're not criticizing you to bring you down. They're just telling you the truth as a friend. Value friends. Stop giving friend titles to so many people. You're ingratiating people with all your goodness and they just going to drain you of it. They're going to drain you, man. Yeah. I talked about this in another show. Every moment of your life appears to be in so many ways dedicated to others, people other than yourself. It's none dedicated to you. And you think that your presence will make a difference for them. Not knowing why they want you present. And what happens when you're not present? The show still goes on. Do you get the call? Do you get cussed out? Why did you get cussed out? Because you were taking care of yourself? Because you were just too damn tired? Because you worked all day? You didn't feel like coming home, getting dressed and rolling out? Just pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I'm tired. I'm not coming out. Love you. Talk to you later. Peace. If you can't do that, why are we friends? Because you telling me it comes down to what I do for you. That's the benefit of this relationship. Start checking people on this stuff, man. Start cutting people off. Stop giving everybody access to you. You have to take care of you first. Remember that. And if y'all see me looking this way and this way, I got a phone here camera, and I have two cameras actually that I'm looking at in my computer because I'm on 3 different platforms. So Psychology Today has this article. Y'all know me. I'm always on Psychology Today. And one more thing I'm going to add. This is a learning moment for me. This is part of my ongoing saturation of clinical content for me as a clinician. So I'm learning with you. I have aha moments just like you do. Yes, a lot of this stuff I'm familiar with. Most of this stuff I'm familiar with. But familiarity is one thing. Keeping yourself abreast and fresh in the knowledge is important, and the ever-changing field, right? It keeps my youth, right? Keeps me young, man, right? Keeps me on top of my game as to what I'm doing. So I have aha moments just like you do, okay? Psychology Today is one of my go-to sources, has been for a long time, since back, as far as I can remember, probably in the late 60s, early 70s. Yeah, I'm dating myself. But it was always a magazine that was always in the doctor's office. There. It was always in a lot of places, Psychology Today. And it's the one that always seemed to sit and look so pristine, like it just wasn't touched. It's like Popular Mechanics is another one, right? So Psychology Today, this article is about gratitude. I'm always talking about gratitude. And it's essential. If you're not grateful for your life, if you're not grateful for living, you're never going to change your condition because you're just selfish in your actions, right? You're just disrespectful. Ungrateful people are disrespectful. You think I'm lying? Pay attention, either to yourself or others who you offer things and they don't say thank you. Listen to what I'm saying. This is basic humanity. This is basic humanity. Humanity 101. If I give you something, you say thank you. Y'all need to stop telling people it's not about them. It's in what it is that you do and why you do it. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about how this person is not thankful for anything that you give to them. You need to recognize that because it's going to trigger you. It's going to trigger your core. No matter how gracious you're trying to be, it is still going to trigger you that this Negro couldn't even say thank you when I let him out of the parking space when somebody else was not. You couldn't just, right? When a person is ungrateful, the nature of that relationship changes. Yes, you continue to be the person who you are, but you need to understand. You need to understand. This is not the time to be understood. You need to understand that this is going to be a difficult relationship for you because you're ungrateful. And how you feel about a person should have. See, when you go into the must-itises, the can't-stand-itises, and the should-itises, you set yourself up. But it would be nice if everybody expressed gratitude. It's not going to be that way, right? But now we're going to start talking about core values because it's always a matter of the what drives you. Is it the what that drives you? Or is it the why? It affects your core values the way it does.
because your core values are affected not only by other people, but affected by what you do or don't do. So when you encounter that ungrateful person and within yourself you have this mustitis that people must be grateful, then you're going to be affected because of the value that you hold towards gratitude and what you think that others should have. You see where we destroy ourselves? Because we think so much of what people should do, what people must do. People don't must anything. You must learn to accept that. You must adapt. You must understand that this is your bias, that you need to control your tongue, not theirs, because they're going to be the same way. You walking around with your panties in a bunch, drawers too, while they're going along hunky-dory. They living their life. They're all happy, joyous, and free, and you all sitting there like, and they looking at you like, what's up with all that? Right? So 10 core values to guide behavior. Remember, what you think is how you act. Right? Then there's cognitive dissonance. That's like you say one thing, but you do something entirely different. That's cognitive dissonance. That's thinking. That's confusion. Like what you just said, but then you just turn around and just slapped him. I don't get that part. You said you're patient, this, that, and the other, but so what happened? Well, anybody starts with well, he, well, she is not a person who's willing to take accountability. So there ain't no sense in you standing there and having any more conversation. You know, it's a matter of, I lost control. I lost control. I expected him to act this way. I expected her to do this, and I lost control. We all do it. The frequency of doing it is what you want to look at. We all do it. All right, creating a moral compass to live in congruence with your ideas, right? Key points from this article. Core values shape our attitudes, actions, and decisions, greatly impacting our personal growth. Greatly impacting our personal growth. Living in alignment with one's values, referred to as value congruence, is linked to psychological well-being. Psychological well-being. Core values are not fixed, but dynamic, evolving through experiences, relationships, and reflective practices. So let's get into the article. Core values serve as guiding principles that shape our attitudes, actions, and decisions. According to psychological research, values are fundamental beliefs that guide our choices and behaviors. They are the foundational principles we hold dear, affecting how we perceive and interact with the world. Right? So I'm not going to read all of the that's written there, but it comes down to this. I say to people repeatedly, and disagreement kicks right in as soon as I say it. The devil is winning. Yeah. Look at your response to that statement. Where's the evidence? Right in front of you. Right in front of you. That's why I titled my last released album, Gods in a Man's World. Gods in a Man's World. Jonathan Wallace, good morning. Right? You understand? BTS, you write, hey, what is nothing back? What give me some more on that one. You have to look at everything will continue to change in some capacity. I lost my train of thought so when I read that. Sorry about that. let's go to the list. It'll come back to me. These 10 core values can serve as a compass guiding us in a direction that improves our well-being and contributes positively to the world around us. Okay, so let's start with integrity. Integrity, the adherence to moral and ethical principles, lies at the foundation of human behavior. Cultivating integrity begins with self-awareness. Reflect on personal beliefs and values and strive to align actions with them. Consciously choose honesty, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. Practice consistency between words and actions, and hold oneself accountable personally and professionally. So if we go back to where it says cultivating integrity begins with self-awareness, goes back to how I opened the show, right? You have to be aware of yourself. You have to be aware of yourself. If you get angry about a thing, I always use the example, you're driving up the highway, somebody cuts in front of you without a signal, right? And keep on driving, right? Your response to that is what? Not the what, the why. So when I go back to the activating event, which is cognitive behavior treatment, right? Because this is how you need to start processing things that happen if you want to grow personally, because that's what we're talking about here. You get this block in front of you and you can't continue to grow personally, it's going to be a very stressful life. You'll find a lot of people never grow personally. They get older, right? But they don't grow. They still react and respond to things in the same capacity, right? So when you look at how you responded to that car cut in front of you, you need to ask yourself, what value and belief within yourself applies to how you're responding? Connects to, because this is what it's talking about here. You have to make the connection, right? Practice consistency between words and actions. Words and actions. What you just did, is that consistent with your morals and your values? Is you cussing that person out, is that consistent with your words and your values? So back to the ABCs. We call them the ABCs of cognitive behavior treatment. The A is the activating event. What just took place? What was the event? Not the person, not the who, none of that. We ain't there yet. What just happened was another driver cut in front of me. That is called the activating event. That is the event that triggered your stuff. It triggered your stuff. You don't like when somebody cuts in front of you. You despise it. You loathe it. You overreact to it, no matter who's around. Or are you by yourself? Or are you with your boss, your children, your mother? Do you react differently? Because that's important to understand when you're assessing yourself, when you're making yourself aware. Aware. Understand. Because there's a set of rules everywhere you go. When I do clinical services, I'm not using profanity. Why? Because those are the rules. So my value, because we're talking about integrity now, my value is to respect the rules. My value is to understand how my behavior as a professional will affect others, the company, most importantly, myself. The company doesn't represent me as a person. The company represents itself. You represent the company. If the company cusses during a group session or some kind of conversation with an individual we're providing services for, it's on the company. You understand? It's always on the company, no matter which way you cut it. The difference is if hold on, y'all. If I do it, I'm only a representative of the company. If the company owner does it, it's cool. I own it. Is that right thinking? Is that considering the rights of others? Is that demonstrating good leadership? We're talking about integrity. I'm trying to give you all facets of integrity. See, I have to maintain integrity, whether I'm employed by a person, whether it's my own business, or whether it's just me and my wife, whether none of those things, me and my wife, or just me. You can't pick and choose when you're going to have it. So when mine is at question, bring receipts. Bring receipts. I'll take on anybody. Bring receipts. If you want to question my integrity, bring receipts. I'm not talking about perfection here. We all do things that teeter on. It's about accountability. You understand? So cultivating integrity begins with self-awareness. Cultivating, right? The more you become aware of yourself, the more you should be taking accountability for what it is that you're doing, what it is that you said, what it is that you do. Cultivating, right? You got to cultivate that. That means you have to be consistent, like it said further down. Practice consistency between words and actions and hold oneself personally accountable, right? Personally and professionally, because I'm talking about professionally and personally at the same time. I'm sitting here telling you that, right? Personally, you have to maintain that same level of integrity. Yeah. So it's nobody in the workplace who could ever challenge that I've done anything to a patient, to a client. Never acted in that capacity. Never acted in that capacity. You tell me this is my job, that's my job. Have I ever taken an additional few minutes on lunch and, and came back and, should have been back earlier? Sure. Have I ever disrespected? No, I don't disrespect people. I'm not disrespectful in my personal life. You may take it that way because it's something that you have to fix within you, because I'm direct, because I'm not going to let you just talk to me any kind of way. I'm going to certainly correct that behavior. I don't have to be disrespectful in doing it. What I'm saying to you is integrity is integrity. You go to a lot of places where people have to serve other people and they have deporsive attitudes. That's not consistent. I can tell you, that's not consistent with what you tell yourself you represent. That's not consistent with who you really are. You don't like the position of life that you're in. You think you should be somewhere that you're not yet. If you belong there, you would be there, but it's the reason why you're not there. There's a reason why you're not there. And you have to accept that. And you have to find out the reason why you're not there. Because of this attitude. Because of this attitude. When I got my degree, positions that were available that I know I qualify for, that I deserve to have, right? I got the degree. First, everybody was saying, "Well, you need to get that degree, man." Yeah, you do. Then you get the degree, and people are like, "Well, you ain't been in the position long enough. I know you got the degree, but you just told me." And I took my toys and went home, and I went to work for another company, only to return to that company again and put in 15 years with them. But the point that I'm making is, it's like the integrity of how I responded was not blemished because I stayed my course. When you're not satisfied with a job, you don't change your tone in terms of what your integrity should represent. You just keep on working and you move on. I got fired from that company. This is years back. I got fired from that company. I never went and said anything negative about that company. No. Didn't spread any kind of anything. They know what they did. They know who was involved in what they did. They know why. But nobody, except one person, had a conversation with me about it. But the person responsible never took responsibility. And they'll never take responsibility. And I don't care. I don't need to carry it. If I saw that person in the street today, they'd get a handshake or a hug. Listen, that's your pillow. That's not mine. Right? That's important. It's important. That's on a professional end. On a personal end, we have moms and dads who weren't moms and dads before, who became moms and dads, and who cannot still let go of what happened between us. If it was a matter of infidelity, who committed the act? Right? That's your vagina. That's your penis. You chose to give it to somebody else. They chose to give it to somebody else. What are you upset about? It's not yours. It's no longer your problem. Do you want that to continue? Okay, it's done. Move on. As a mother, as a father, my focus is now on the child. Where does the hate, the dissension come in with your values and your beliefs in regards to how you now treat the other parent? Because they don't meet your expectations in this area. Therefore, you think now you have carte blanche to violate even your own beliefs and values. Take no accountability for it. The child is now an adult and you still have not. That's in your core. So that's the dissonance. That's the cognitive dissonance. Your mouth keeps saying, I am this person. I am that person. But your behaviors keep showing that you're not. You're unforgiving. You're unempathetic. Unforgiving. Unmanageable. Ungrateful. And the list goes on and on and on. And you rather say, no, I'm not. That you want to hold on to what you keep telling yourself that you are, but it's not shown in your actions. And the child still suffers. It's parents today who have held on to stuff, the lies, the deception, to continue to make themselves appear to be innocent of this conflict. Like it was just one person. Everything is not an excuse. Some things are reasons that happen. Some things are reasons. They're not excuses. Sometimes people's values and beliefs that they hold on so near and dear to their hearts, and it violates them. And instead of them handling it the right way, they handle it the wrong way. I know I have. I can give you a whole list of things that I've done in life that now, me going and seeing somebody else and doing somebody else ain't fixed this problem here. Because that ain't your problem. We getting it in. So getting it in with somebody else don't fix the difficulty in this relationship. It actually created more of a problem, because if it was good, I'm going back. Now I didn't involve somebody else in this. Now this other person, they feeling this. This person has already been feeling this. Now I'm giving them something else. That's no solution. I had to learn there's no solution to that. And I've learned that. Because of how I felt. Because now I got other people hurting. Because hurt people, and you continue to do more hurt. You continue to do more hurt. And how much better do you feel, especially when you're violating your own beliefs and values? You were angry, so you did this. Now you're feeling this. Now the loving and caring and empathetic and compassionate person who you are, you gave that same to somebody else, because that is who you are. And why would you not expect them to not start having feelings for you? Now this person got feelings for you. Now you got feelings for that person. Now you done tore and ripped up your insides because you're trying to be back and forth, and now the lies begin to mount. And you can't keep up anymore. When all you really had to do from the beginning was just leave. Just leave. Really. Because when you get to that point where somebody else has been given the open door, the lane to access you, to access your heart, it's going to be devastating. It's going to be destruction. I love hard. You understand? So the condition you put yourself in, trying to maintain this outside stuff when you got all this inside baggage, right? You have to find a better way to bring resolve to it. If it is that bad, walk away. If you still arguing about the same stuff, walk away. It's not going to change. What you think you're going to wear that person down? Yeah, you can wear them down. You can wear somebody down and drive them into a stupor, drive them into complacency, because we have gotten so many things together. We have acquired all of these things together. I deserve to have these things. I deserve this. I deserve that. Therefore, I'm not going nowhere. And then you continue on the path. And even though you continue on that path willfully, your spirit is in disarray. It's in disarray. Because when the other person start opening their lane up, of that accessibility lane, and they open that door, here comes the pain. How often can we take what we dish out? It's a different show now. Now it gets uglier. See, it was ugly in the beginning. You could have just walked away, right? It had a bad taste in your mouth. It'd have been easier. But when you stay and you continue with the mindset of, and you're complacent and y'all fall into this doing what you want to do kind of thing, somebody going to fall in love. Somebody going to want to be out of this and not be here. And that's going to change everything. And then things start getting real funky. Then where are you? Where's your values and beliefs there? Where's your integrity then? You still got a shot to fix it. Oh, it's going to be over. But you still got a shot to fix this. And accountability is the part to it. Especially when you have a child involved. Let it go. But then if you still dibbling and dabbling with one another every now and then, it's going to always be that way. Because in most cases, sex wasn't the issue. In most cases, sex wasn't the issue. Sex brought you together. Sex kept you together a little longer. So to say the hurtful things like it wasn't that big anyway. Oh, girl, that thing was wider than the turnpike. No, when you start saying things like that, but that wasn't the case. That's that hurt people the kind of thing that's going on, right? But sex, most cases, was not the issue. That's why people continue to dip. And you make it difficult to move on, right? You got to keep it straight. Nah, we ain't, as tempting as it may be, it ain't worth it. Mixed messages, destructive. Where are your values and beliefs in regards to that? And how about the other person when you know they love you, that they don't want this to end, that they want to stay with you, that they're willing to work through this, but now you're caught up in the other and you don't, because now you'd have made promises to them too. And she's always going to be there for you. He's always going to be there for you. Always, even in your absence, waiting for the moment. Because of what you displayed to them as a human being that made them feel safe, that made them feel all fuzzy inside every time you talk to them. You made them laugh. But it's about personal accountability. Because remember, everything you put on yourself, everything you layer onto your spirit, you're responsible to unpeel that damn onion. A lot of people don't want to do that. Number 2, empathy. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Understand and share. That requires listening. Is that one of your values? Is that one of your beliefs that you should be listened to? What about listening to others? As wrong as you may think they are, as wrong as they might be, they don't deserve to be listened to? Now, I don't mean like you heard them, listened to. Everybody is not as articulate as I am, right? Everybody is not the intellectual that I am. Everybody is not as analytical and so on and so forth as I am. That just happened to be an area of focus by my mother in my childhood, how to speak, how to write, my penmanship and all those kind of things. Those are the most perfect things in my life. Because those are the things that I was constantly reminded of as a child. Yeah. Respect was ingrained early on. Yes. Not not yeah. Yes. Yes. even today, right? And this was a Southern thing for me, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, and working in the correctional environment, right? So Southern flavor, correctional environment, encourage the other half, and I still, hey, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, and I say that, I use the term with just about anybody. Like if it's a cashier, if she look like she's 18, 20 years old, yes, ma'am. What else am I supposed to say to her? Yeah, girl. Yeah, sister. Right? Yes, young lady. It's yes, ma'am. It's just a term that, hey, yes, ma'am. But I was always taught respect. Not raising my voice at an adult. Not talking back. Know what your lane is. And we've gotten away from that because we had this mindset, well, when I become an adult, because of that misinformation too, when you become an adult, you can do it. Nah, it don't work that way. You can't do and say any damn thing you want to. No, but I'm just saying childhood is significant to present day living. And if you don't think that is, then you really need to take a look and become more aware of yourself. Yeah. I still don't sit to the table with my elbows up on you. I find myself like doing it and then fixing it. Empathy. So to cultivate empathy, practice active listening. Give full attention to the person speaking and try to understand their perspective without judgment. This was a big thing for me. And it can be on any given day, at any given moment. Right? It's something that I work on with my wife. Right? Throughout the years as a supervisor, like 95% of my career was in a supervisory capacity. So I was always moving and catching things and, bringing resolve to things as I moved along, retaining those things that I needed to, and think about how I need to bring resolve to them, because people are so problem oriented that when they come to you with problems, they don't bring solutions. So part of my conditioning is always catching, moving. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You need to see me, come in. Let's get it. What is it? Go. And that may be good and something favorable in the workplace, because multitasking means I'm going to get a lot more done. Right? But when it comes to a personal relationship with a person who's not like you, who is not you, you have to practice these things, and that's part of who I am. That's my core. I know why I do that, because I'm conditioned to get it done. Plain and simple. I don't have time for the fluff. I don't make time for the fluff. Productivity is part of my value, is part of my belief. I'm not going to stop being that because of someone else, but I do have to understand how it impacts negatively the other person, positively as well. But negatively, I need to also understand that too. It's a very positive, don't get me wrong, it's a very positive foundation of living. Because that means I'm not a slacker. I'm not a drag ass. I've been working since I was 9 years old. My mother was teaching us stuff at that age. I was standing on a crate. I think I was like 10 years old, learning how to iron. My mother allowed us to cook certain foods as we got older, right? My mother showed us how we can cook this and cook that. And then over the years, we start being able to do other things because we started managing the fire, managing the heat, all those kind of things. That's who I am. I am aware of that. But if you're not looking at the wounded look, there's a wounded look in the eye of the beholder who has just been exposed to one of our less endearing traits. Some of y'all heard that before. You have to look in the eyes and you have to see that wounded look. That's where empathy comes in. That's harm that you're causing to somebody else. When you see them drop their head, if you're paying attention to people, you know what you just said was hurtful. You know what you said was hurtful. You know it was intentional. You meant for it to be that way. You know you do it. The question is why. So once again, it's not the what, it's the why. Why did you respond that way? Because you didn't just respond that way with that person. You responded with somebody else in the same way who did or said or not said the same thing. You had the same experience. 2 entirely different people, 3 entirely different people. You had the same experience. You need to find out why. So you're dealing with this situation right now. Here and now is what you want to deal with. The here and now. I just reacted this way with you. I saw the look in your eye. I saw your eyes tear up. I saw you drop your gaze. I saw you shake your head. I have to acknowledge that. Please go on with saying to me what it is that you were saying, and I'll listen. I need to listen. You learn so much more about that other person when you take the time to just listen. But you know, we have a society, man, that's so judgmental. Like now we have this cancel culture. People think that they are like that big that you're canceled. I'm firing you because you don't agree with us. Huh? What are you talking about? We had an actor, I forgot the actor's name. One of my favorite actors too. He said that if you are a supporter of ICE, stop following me. Like, dude, like you hurt somebody? Like you hurt somebody. Like you think you're that big that you can say to other people, if you do this, don't follow me. Okay. I won't follow you anymore simply because of the statement that you're making. You think you that big that you can do that. That's pure arrogance, pure unadulterated arrogance. Why would I want to follow somebody who has that thinking? Because that's not going to be the only matter that you think that you're that big that you can say, well, if you support this, if you like red cherry Kool-Aid, you know, number 10 red, if you like number 10 red Kool-Aid, don't follow me. Get away from those people because those people have a level of arrogance that will only eventually piss you off. I'm just trying to tell you. So you spend as little time as possible around those people. I'm not telling you that none of this stuff will exist within you. I'm telling you how to manage it a lot better than you have been. So you can take care of you. Hold on. I always get this notification from TikTok about it being inactive when damn I'm sitting right here in front of the camera. But let me say something and you'll know I'm active. That's out of pocket. That's against community. Oh, y'all just jump right in. But anywho, empathy, right? Empathy. So back to because this is number 2 on that list, right? Engage in activities that expose you to different viewpoints and experiences, such as reading diverse literature or volunteering in community services, right? And that's what I was just saying yesterday on my show, Daddy's Right Here. That's every Sunday at 10 a.m. Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah. If you're a Democrat, do you listen to Republican stations? Have you ever followed a Republican? So you have no idea what's going on. You don't. Because that's that fixed bias. That's that cognitive bias. because only thing you want to hear is a Democratic perspective. That's the only thing you want to hear. Don't you say nothing bad about my Democrats. They're not your Democrats. Listen, newsflash, they're not even our Democrats. These people are doing as they damn well please with us. Have been for a long time. But you won't know that if you're focused on the red and the blue. You're not focused on the issues. They're focused on the same thing, the red and the blue. Changing the red state to blue, changing the blue state to red. That's all they're concerned with. You hear it all the time. Midterms coming up. We got to do good, or that state's going to turn blue. That state's going to turn red. And you have fallen prey to the same thinking. Black folks, we're Democrats. If you're not, you're an Uncle Tom, you're a coon, you're this. What do you mean you're Republican? I love Byron. Sticks to the issues, sticks to the point. Watch him. Watch him. He's staying the course. See, you can't be swayed by this old hypocritical nonsense. It's stupid. Y'all don't even pay attention. You're just being cowed. You're being sheeped into a condition that has no relevance to your well-being. I'm just saying. Give yourself a break. Get away from that bandwagon. Listen to the issues. Listen to what's important to you as an American. Yeah, as an American. Get off this old bandwagon that you riding on with that other stuff. You don't like it here? It's a flight out waiting for you. It's a train out waiting for you. It's a bus out waiting for you. Fill up the gas tank. Go somewhere else. But don't sit here being anti-American because you're in disagreement. It is what it is. What if you had to make that decision? Right? You become more learned, more confident within yourself when you start reading for yourself. When you start reading for yourself. Yeah. 8 years, at least, people didn't even think, black folks especially, didn't even think about what was happening in the White House. There were just expectations of what you thought he was supposed to do as a black president, forgetting he's the president of the United States of America. He is not the black president. He was the president who was black, right? But there were expectations there. There was no thought about what was happening on the Republican side because you knew that he was going to get a second term. But you didn't prepare for what was to come, right? There is no candidate coming up, folks. There's nobody coming up in 2028. Somebody's going to be thrown into it. I digressed a little bit. I'm sorry, but I just want to kind of make a point here. That if you don't start doing your homework now, you're going to start getting a whole lot of propaganda. And you're going to be led by the propaganda instead of your own learnings, your own understanding. You got to get it for yourself. Stop just running with what's popular in your group. Right? Hey, listen, we are at the hour. We still got 7 more to go on this list of 10 core values to guide behavior. You have to become aware of yourself. You have to become aware of yourself. You have to take care of you. I was saying in yesterday's show that I just recently came off of a 72-hour fast. Best thing. I could have done in the 65 years of my life. The best thing that I've done for myself inside, right, to feel much different, healthier. I'm talking about my organs. I'm talking about medical. See, there's the physical, there's the spiritual, there's the mental, right? But there's the medical as well, right? But that 72-hour fast with just water is the best thing that I could have ever done. My body feels like it's got a new battery. Yeah. Then I did a foot soak with some Epsom salt and apple cider vinegar, rosemary. I forgot what the other thing was, right? Listen. Yeah. My wife said, so what you ready for? You ready to go do a marathon? Damn near. Damn near. A lot of the internal, the inflammation, the stiffness, the things that come with aging, but the things that mainly come with not taking care of yourself, eating the wrong foods and so on and so forth. Everything that we eat is wrong. Believe that, right? Because it's not grown by us, it's not made by us. It's but there's things, man, that you begin to see that the food does to your body. Bloating. Oh man, I've had flushes. This is far different. A flush just takes stuff out for right now and you feel relief, right? But when you do a 72-hour fast with just water, whole different. I haven't felt any level of being bloated up here. Matter of fact, I got 4 of my cans back. I just got to get the 2 down here. But I got rid of that. 72-hour fast, right? You have to understand how medical becomes mental becomes spiritual. You're just a mess. Just a mess. Got to take care of your insides first. You got to take care of catering to your values and beliefs and stop allowing anything to compromise that. Ain't no vagina out there that great that you can compromise your life. Ain't no penis out there that great that can make you compromise your life. Listen to what I'm telling you. You have to take care of you. When you take care of you, your vision, your worldview, life's perception changes because you know what's needed. And you have a better sense of what you need in your life. And stop making those same choices. Because my job is not to heal my wife. That's not my job. My job is to support her healing process. To support her healing process. That means whatever she needs to take on to get where she needs to go within her own spirit, her own scripted pathway, I'm supposed to be there to support that. When it gets hard, my job is to be there to put her head on my shoulder, to listen to her so she can keep going. My job is not to, you need to, that's not my job. But I need to take care of me first in order for me to be able to do that. And the same for my children. The same for everybody else who I come into contact with. I strive to be a good servant. Plain and simple. Not no holy roller. None of that. But I give honor and praise to the Creator. Remembrance. Who I serve in my actions. Know that I'm going to fall short, but keep on going. Don't beat myself up. Don't make myself feel less than. Don't do any of those things. I keep on going. Keep striving to do the right thing. The wrong thing always creeps in, and you just fix it. And you keep moving. I'm just trying to tell you, it's easy, man. It really is. It's easy. You just have to grab hold. As always, listen, I thank y'all for tuning in. It's a whole lot that you could be doing today. You taking the time to stop in and listen to me. I appreciate you stopping in. Listen, I'll see you guys tomorrow if you're interested. I do the show on my Aline for You Facebook page. Again, just remind everybody, March 1st, I will no longer be doing shows on TikTok. I will only be on Facebook. Go join my page right now, Sabir Aline. My Facebook page, Sabir Aline. If you forget that, Aline for You, my Facebook page. They're both connected. I do the show on my Aline for You merchandise, customized merchandise. So you get a chance to go into the lab where the work is being done, where the designs are being made. You can shop while you're on that page because pop-ups will come up for you to shop on certain things. I'll take you into the store so you can see the store. You can see the merchandise in the store. You can see the prices. You know, we can talk about the content, all those things. We talk. So that's what that show is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are SASPA. And every Sunday at 10 o'clock is Daddy's Right Here, my nonprofit family services organization that focuses on decreasing father absenteeism, rebuilding the relationship between fathers and the mother of their children and or the children, right? So that's my schedule, man. That's my retirement schedule. Yeah, I'm retired, you know, so I sit back and I keep myself busy, man, so I don't sit back and just grow old and, you know, wither away. I will see y'all. Hey, and then I also do on my Lean for You show my music, right? My music. So I talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Let me get some volume here. So this song is on my album, You Want to Be Me, which was my third album. The title of this song is Tough Guy. Get all this other stuff off here. I can get to it. All right.
Do you hear her cry while my baby has to die? Told a lie after lie
After lie, oh, what a tough guy. Do you hear her cry?
I wanna be tough guy.
Do you hear her cry? I wanna be tough guy.
Living the street life, you don't even think twice. Your mind's on that money, abandoning your child and your sweet wife.
She's holding it down. You're never around. There's a knock on her door, telling her another man's down.
Can't be a provider
If you're not beside her, you gotta live it alone in that house where you hide her.
You got a life on hold.
All the lies you told.
When phone time comes,
That's why the conversation's cold.
you hear a cry.
Brian Riddle, what's going on? Sneaker Muse, what's happening? Demetrius, good morning. How are you? Thanks for tuning in again.
Do you hear a cry while my baby has to die?
Lie after lie after lie. I want to be a tough guy.
I wanna be a tough guy. Do you remember your very first call? Without education, who did you call? Once you were free, who did you go see? The one you call your dog, the true enemy. You're robbing and killing Your brother's blood you're spilling. Role model for your dog. Community villain. You say she's holding you up. She's in the way. But you have no place of your own. And in the company you lay. Do you hear the cry? While my baby has to die. So the lie, after lie, after time. When he just died. Do you hear the cry? While my baby has to die. So the lie, after lie, after lie. I wanna be that guy. I wanna be tough guy. I wanna be tough guy. You're a repeat offender. You got a public offender. All you have is J-Day.
Mr. Money Man, pretender,
You're walking around the yard.
still talking smack.
But your homies from around the way.
They
They
ain't watching your back.
You didn't know the rules when you got into this game. What you thought you would get.
What's fortune and fame?
This fortune you got. A flag you claim. There's a bounty on your head. Taking one
To the brain,
do you hear the cry? While my baby has to die. So the lie,
after life, after life, after being a tough guy.
do you hear the cry?
While my baby has to die.
So the lie, after lie, after lie. I wanna be a tough guy.
Time to let that thing go.
I wanna be a tough guy. I wanna be a tough guy. I wanna be a tough guy.
Always tell the guys that I work with throughout the years, my career, a tough guy is one who gets up 5 o'clock in the morning, go to work,
Walking all your glory.
come home,
Pockets full, and nothing but pussy. The numbers they'll give you, you won't have a name. And if you ever see freedom, you'll probably walk with the pain.
get stabbed in the back.
Stabbed in the back.
Both one and the
Both
same.
one and the same. But remember, wasn't what you're in this for. They both had your back. You did them both real dirty. And that's a fact. One was your mother. The other, your lover. One loses the son. The other finds another. Do you hear cry?
BTS, Ghana Quake, thank you for tuning in. What's that, Ghana Ghoul, Ghana Ghoul. Sorry about the pronunciation, but thanks for joining.
Mama, baby, has died. For the lie, after lie, after lie.
But as I was saying, right, for the 30 years I've been working in the field, man, I've always told these guys the same thing.
What it be?
A tough guy is the one that gets up 5 o'clock in the morning, have themselves some breakfast, kiss the family bye, go to work, put in the 8 hours at that place they hate going to, then coming on home. That's a tough guy. If you can do that, you can get through anything. But that's the focus. Hustling, that ain't gonna happen. You know the outcome to that. Stop leaving that woman on lockdown. Let her go. You don't want to do the right thing by her, let her go. Move on. Move on, man. She deserves better. You ain't got no place of your own, but in her bed you lay. She's holding you back. You said she's in the way. Yeah. She ain't in the way. You in your own way. Move. Get out the way. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm your host again, as always, Severe Lean. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place. It all ends. All ends.
Granger knows that.
That's rough. But hey, with SafeLight, you can get that fixed any way you want.
I don't need a Safe Light commercial. So, anywho, y'all have a good day, man. Peace. Mm-hmm.